This is Ashley Lockhart, a 32-year-old devoted mother of 6 who would lose her life after discovering her husband's secret. In the early hours of August 6, 2022, the quiet streets of West Philadelphia were interrupted by unsettling screams, a sound that would haunt a passerby forever. The individual, sensing something was wrong, called 911 immediately. What the police discovered on arrival would be a chilling scene, one that would stay with them for a long time. Inside a parked vehicle in the passenger seat was Ashley Lockhart. She was lifeless, but her body was riddled with multiple stab wounds. Worst of all, a knife had been stabbed and left in her head. Blood was splattered everywhere inside the van. But there was more to this tragedy than met the eye, as the police would soon uncover. The man responsible for ending Ashley's life was someone no one could have imagined. But before that, let me take you back to the city where this horrific incident happened. This is the tragic life and death of Ashley Lockhart. Ashley's story takes us to Kensington, a troubled neighborhood in North Philadelphia. Known for its ongoing struggles with poverty, escalating crime rates, and social challenges, Kensington was home to Ashley and many others facing difficult circumstances. In 2022, this neighborhood, much like others across the city, was overwhelmed by rising homelessness, rampant drug use, and an alarming increase in violent crimes. Sadly, women were often the victims of this violence. It was in these harsh surroundings that Ashley Lockhart was raised, and it was here she began her own family. Despite the adversity around her, Ashley's strength, warmth, and love stood out. Born in 1990, Ashley was known for her kind heart, her devotion to her children, and her selflessness. To those who knew her, she was the personification of love and family. Ashley's commitment to her family was clear. She was the proud mother of 6 daughters, affectionately referring to them as her 6 charms. Her social media was filled with pictures of them, each moment captured with joy, love, and a sense of pride.
I am beauty.
I am beauty.
I am brains.
I am brains.
I am intelligent.
I am intelligent.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am health.
I am health.
I am wealth.
I am wealth.
I am treasure.
I am treasure.
I am heart.
I am heart.
I am talent. Go.
Merry Christmas!
Her messages were filled with encouragement for her children to be confident and kind. Ashley not only cared for her daughters, but also empowered them. She taught them that they were beautiful, intelligent, and capable of achieving anything they set their minds to. She would proudly proclaim in her posts, instilling those values in her daughters from a young age.
Go.
I can be anything that I want to be. Positivity over negativity.
It's the keys that unlock the doors to success. So I pledge allegiance that I do my very best. No matter whatever the test, my mind's made up just to go an extra mile.
I won't let back chillin', that's simply illin'. Responsibility is to be a better me. Go me, I made up my mind to set my goals high. And if I believe, I will achieve.
I'm gonna be a better me. Yay!
But despite the joy Ashley radiated on social media, behind closed doors, her life was anything but perfect. Raymond Majesty Thompson, her fiancé, and the father of their 6 children, was not the man he appeared to be online. While Ashley often shared snapshots of her life on social media, Raymond was rarely seen. At first, it seemed like a simple preference for privacy, a choice that many couples make. But as the story would unfold, it became clear that there was a much darker reason behind his absence from the public eye. Before things took a horrific turn, however, everything seemed picture perfect. They were in love, deeply connected. To the outside world, Ashley and Raymond appeared to be the epitome of a couple destined for a long, happy future. They have faced life's struggles together and come out stronger, standing side by side. Over time, their bond grew, and they began to build a family, a beautiful family. Together, they had their 6 vibrant daughters, each one a testament to their shared dreams and aspirations. But as we would soon learn, the reality of their relationship was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. While Raymond's social media accounts painted a picture of a loving partner, a family man, and an advocate for peace in the community, the reality was far darker. In private, Raymond was a man of violent tendencies, a man whose troubled past would soon catch up with him. Raymond's criminal history was long and troubling. At 34-year-old, he had numerous run-ins with the law, including drug offenses, violent outbursts, and multiple convictions. One of the most alarming incidents occurred in 2018, when Raymond, trying to flee from the police, jumped onto train tracks, putting his life and others in danger. This reckless behavior eventually led to a prison sentence. But this history of erratic behavior and instability was something Ashley knew all too well, and yet, despite it, she stayed in the relationship, hoping that things would improve. She loved him, and for the sake of her children, she believed she could endure the chaos. As time went on, Raymond's behavior only got worse. Despite their outwardly happy life, Ashley began making cryptic posts on social media that hinted at trouble at home. She shared warnings about not letting anyone hurt their children in an attempt to hurt the person they had them with. She even subtly referred to Raymond's infidelity, a tragic irony, given in the end, it would be Raymond's jealousy over Ashley's alleged cheating that would push him to commit the horrific act that would end her life. The instability in their relationship escalated further.
Gonna make a change in my life, starting here today. I surrender all my love, I never thought I could. I'm giving all my love away, there's only one.
Now you behave. Now she quiet.
Yeah, crank it up now, guys.
Raymond's jealousy and violent tendencies intensified, and Ashley began to realize that she could no longer live in fear. Despite the constant strain, she put on a brave face, keeping her struggles to herself while staying in the relationship. But her social media painted a different picture. Through subtle posts and cryptic messages, Ashley hinted at her growing desire to break free, revealing a side of her that had long been hidden from those around her. It didn't take long before her desire to leave would set off a chain of events that would trigger a dark and dangerous side of Raymond. The moment she took action, something inside him snapped, and the calm facade of their life together would come crashing down. Ashley, in an attempt to protect herself, resulted in her taking out a protection from abuse order against Raymond. The PFA is a legal measure designed to prevent abuse and harassment, but despite this legal protection, Raymond continued to stay in the same house with Ashley. This defeated the purpose of the protective order and led to a devastating reality. Raymond, fearing that Ashley was losing patience with him and could leave him, Ashley was a confident, self-assured woman who knew how to go after what she wanted. She was fiercely independent, providing for herself and raising her daughters with remarkable strength and devotion. Just 5 months after giving birth, she was already on the road to recovery, showing the world and herself that she could thrive on her own. It was clear to everyone around her that Ashley didn't need anyone to define her, and in addition to her independence, she had become something else: brave. Knowing this, Raymond became consumed by anger and suspicion. He convinced himself that Ashley was cheating on him, and this irrational belief set the stage for a tragedy that would soon unfold. In the months leading up to her death, Ashley made moves to reclaim her life. She sought a fresh start for herself and her children, but what Ashley didn't know was just how far Raymond would go, and his actions would soon cross a line from which there would be no return. On May 6, 2022, Raymond's rage reached its peak. He had driven Ashley in a golden Honda Odyssey to go to a grocery store. The vehicle parked by the roadside at the 5300 block of Chestnut Street, but suspiciously did not go into the supermarket. Witnesses nearby shared that Raymond and Ashley had gotten into an argument. The specifics of their argument remain a mystery, but it was evident something was terribly wrong. The confrontation stretched on for a while, growing more intense as the minutes passed. Soon, unsettling sounds began to echo from the vehicle, signaling that the dispute had spiraled into something far more alarming. Concerned, a passerby made the decision to call the police. However, what the officers arrived to was far beyond a simple domestic quarrel. It was a chilling scene they never could have anticipated. After the argument in their car, Raymond had snapped. He attacked Ashley, stabbing her 27 times. She was stabbed in her hands, thighs, face, and neck, with blood splattered across the car. In a final act of cruelty, Raymond would do something horrific. He drove a knife into Ashley's head before fleeing the scene. When police arrived, they were confronted with a scene of horror. Ashley was found dead in the passenger seat of the golden Honda Odyssey. The brutality of the crime sent aftershock through the community, and suspicion immediately fell on Raymond, who had been the last person seen with Ashley. But what followed next would leave everyone stunned. As the investigation unfolded, the police stumbled upon a crucial piece of evidence that would unravel the case in a shocking turn. They obtained surveillance footage from a nearby store, capturing their first glimpse of the primary suspect, Raymond. The footage shows Raymond exiting the vehicle and casually walking into the store to buy a drink, his demeanor calm and unassuming. Just minutes before Ashley's death, he steps back outside and heads towards the car, still appearing normal. But as he swung open the car door, something caught the camera's eye. Upon closer inspection, it's clear that Raymond is clutching what looks unmistakably like a knife. In a split second, he swings the door open and lunges into the car. What follows is harrowing. The camera captures a frenzy of erratic, violent movements, unmistakably signaling the brutal attack on Ashley. The door stays ajar, exposing the savage nature of his assault as his anger spirals out of control. Within moments, Raymond would be seen fleeing the scene, leaving Ashley behind and a trail of destruction. The footage confirmed what everyone feared. Raymond Thompson was not just a suspect, he was now the prime target of the investigation. Law enforcement immediately began searching for Raymond, hoping to catch him before he could flee the city. But just as the manhunt began to pick up pace, something unexpected would happen. In a move that surprised everyone, Raymond Thompson called the police. He didn't run, he didn't hide. Instead, after committing such a brutal crime, he turned himself in. It was a shocking act, one that left investigators and the community alike struggling to understand. Why would he surrender after murdering the mother of his children? Was this an admission of guilt, or was there something deeper at play? Raymond's decision to turn himself in stunned the officers who had been desperately searching for him. They were prepared for a violent standoff or a long chase, but they never anticipated that the man they were hunting would walk right into their hands. Raymond was arrested without incident and charged with murder and possession of instruments of crime. However, despite his surrender, many questions remained unanswered. Under questioning, why had Raymond killed the mother of his 6 kids? Shockingly, he gave a simple explanation: jealousy. He claimed that he had suspected Ashley of cheating on him, a belief that had festered for some time. Raymond insisted that the morning of May 6, 2022, they had argued in the car about Ashley's infidelity. Despite Ashley's desperate denials, Raymond refused to believe her. His mind, already clouded with suspicion and rage, spiraled out of control. The argument escalated, and in a moment of sheer anger, Raymond attacked Ashley. What followed was a horrific, frenzied stabbing that ended Ashley's life. But that wasn't all Raymond had to say. In a twist that further revealed the complexity of his mind, he confessed that after committing the murder, he didn't immediately flee or go into hiding. Instead, he took the Market Frankfurt line to Kensington and used heroin to numb the overwhelming weight of his actions. This, he claimed, was what led him to finally turn himself in. His conscience, however fragmented, seemed to push him toward taking responsibility for the crime.
Scene in front of a West Philadelphia grocery store, a deadly stabbing in the middle of the morning. The victim stabbed repeatedly, including once in the face. And tonight, a person of interest is in police custody. Our Ellen Cologe has the very latest for us.
A gruesome crime in front of a grocery store in broad daylight leaves neighbors shocked and saddened that anyone could care so little about human life.
That's very scary, very. I'm scared for everybody. I'm scared for our children. I just think that was pure hate, whatever happened.
Disbelief over what happened here at 54th and Chestnut in broad daylight. Police say a man repeatedly stabbed a woman in this gold minivan just after 8 o'clock this morning.
She has a current PFA against the boyfriend, and now she's deceased. So we have another life lost, probably over some nonsense.
It's sad, this is horrible how, women are treated, their lives just mean nothing.
This surveillance video from a grocery store was taken just minutes before the brutal stabbing, where police say the man stabbed the woman several times throughout her body, including her face. In fact, the crime was so horrific that sources tell Fox 29 the knife was still embedded in her head when police arrived on the scene.
It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
Now, right now, police are still saying very little about this case, but they are confirming that they have a 34-year-old man in custody right now who they are describing as a person of interest. In Old City, Ellen Cologe, Fox 29 News.
Police say they have a person of interest in custody following the stabbing death of a woman in West Philadelphia. A woman in her 30s was found inside of a gold-colored Honda Odyssey on the 5300 block of Chestnut Street this morning. She had been stabbed several times. Authorities recovered a knife from the scene.
And this man is behind bars after he's accused of a deadly stabbing in West Philadelphia. Police say Raymond Thompson killed Ashley Lockhart in a minivan on the 5300 block of Chestnut Street Saturday morning. According to police, Lockhart had a protection order against Thompson. He's now facing charges.
Despite Raymond's confession, the community and Ashley's family were left with countless unanswered questions. How could someone who had been so loved and trusted, someone who had fathered 6 children with Ashley, commit such a heinous act? Was there more to the story than jealousy and rage? And why did Raymond feel the need to end things so violently? The police, now with Raymond in custody, shifted their focus to piecing together the full picture of their relationship. They discovered that Ashley had taken out a protective order against Raymond in the months leading up to her death. This protective order was a warning to Raymond, a clear sign that Ashley was done tolerating the abuse. But despite this legal action, Raymond and Ashley continued to live in the same house. It was a dangerous contradiction, one that highlighted how ineffective legal protections can sometimes be when the abuser refuses to comply with the law. As investigators continued to dig into Raymond's history, they uncovered more alarming details about his past. His criminal record, filled with violent outbursts and run-ins with the law, revealed a man with a volatile temper, someone who was quick to act on impulse without regard for the consequences. This pattern of behavior was consistent with the actions that led to Ashley's death. But even with these revelations, one thing remained abundantly clear. The violence that killed Ashley was not just about jealousy. It was the culmination of years of abuse, manipulation, and control. Raymond's motive wasn't just about a momentary fit of rage. It was about a twisted sense of ownership over Ashley. His jealousy and paranoia had built up over time, festering in the shadows of their relationship. The combination of his insecurity, drug use, and the disintegration of their relationship created the perfect storm that ended in tragedy. It was a tragic reminder of how the abusive dynamics in relationships can escalate into something deadly. As the days passed and Raymond sat in custody, the search for answers continued. They gathered witness statements, reviewed surveillance footage, and examined Ashley's social media posts. All of this helped to paint a picture of a woman who was resilient, loving, and full of life. Someone who had endured years of pain but had never given up on her children. Yet the violence that was inflicted upon her and her family couldn't be ignored. It was clear that Raymond had not just taken her life, but he had taken away the future that Ashley had worked so hard to build for her children. Meanwhile, Ashley's family was left grappling with their grief and trying to make sense of the senseless violence that had shattered their lives. They knew that they had to honor Ashley's memory and support her children as they navigated life without their mother. The pain was unbearable, but there was also a deep resolve to see that justice was served for Ashley. The trial for Ashley's death began in early 2024, nearly 2 years after the murder. The courtroom was filled with tension as Raymond faced charges for his actions. They highlighted his long history of violence and his complete disregard for Ashley's well-being, emphasizing that this wasn't just a crime of passion, it was a calculated act of brutality. On June 27, 2024, after a lengthy trial, the court delivered its verdict. Raymond Thompson was sentenced to 22.5 years to 45 years in prison. The judge made it clear that she wanted him to serve the full 45 years. While some found solace in the fact that Raymond would be behind bars for a long time, the truth was that it would never bring Ashley back. The impact of her loss would be felt forever by her 6 children who would grow up without their mother and by the community that had witnessed the unfolding of this tragic story.
This particular victim obviously did the right thing. For some reason, she was back with this man in that particular van. I don't know the circumstances of that. I don't know why that was. But sadly enough, she's not going to be here to tell us what happened.
A vigil was held in Ashley's memory at the intersection of 54th and Chestnut, the site of the brutal stabbing. Family, friends, and neighbors gathered to honor her life and offer support to the children she had left behind. Teddy bears and candles were placed in a small memorial, and green and white balloons, her favorite colors, were released into the sky. It was a poignant moment of remembrance, but it also served as a reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence. Ashley Lockhart's death was a tragic, senseless loss. Her story is a reminder that abuse often escalates when left unchecked. Her courage in the face of constant torment, her efforts to protect her children, and her attempts to break free from an abusive relationship should inspire us all to do more to prevent such tragedies from happening. Ashley's legacy lives on in the 6 beautiful daughters she left behind, and her story serves as both a warning and a message of hope for others caught in similar cycles of violence. In the end, justice was served, but it will never erase the pain.
Ashley Lockhart's story is one that should never be forgotten, and her life should stand as a testament to the power of resilience, love, and the importance of taking action to end the cycle of abuse. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.